Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Best Adventure Podcast. With me today is a good friend of mine that I've known for a long time, here to talk about all of his adventures, from skateboarding to extreme drunken hiking to being a parent in the modern world. Please welcome my friend, Conner Hankins. And we're live. Conner, what's up, buddy?
Not a lot, man. It's good to be here.
Good to have you here.
I know.
So, your life of adventure, man. What do you got for us?
Well, my adventure consists of trying my best to be a dad to two little girls.
It's the best adventure right there.
Also, trying to navigate that with their mom is always an adventure, so that can be exciting at times.
Right.
Yeah, that and I just try to find things that make me feel like myself when I was a kid. The things that made me happiest when I was young. So a lot of skateboarding these days.
Awesome.
I go pay my dues to the skate gods when I get a chance.
There you go.
I started fishing a lot more and just trying to be mindful and stay positive on the day to day. And
hell yeah.
It seems to be working,
Dude, those are great adventures, though. Like, all three of those. Like skateboarding, I always got so much peace out of skateboarding. Like, just like the mental clarity. When you're out there on the board, it's like everything else just kind of fades.
100%.
Feels really good.
Yeah, it's...
I've been considering getting back into it myself, too. So.
Even just like rolling around, I'll go outside of my apartment and I'll just skate around the complex, and just the kick and the push of the whole thing just feels awesome, man. And you go out and you challenge yourself a little bit, and sometimes you surprise yourself, and you go home feeling pretty good and accomplished, and a little sore the next day.
Other times you hurt yourself and feel like shit.
Yeah, I know.
Give and take.
It is. I actually, maybe 6 months ago, I fractured my wrist skateboarding. And I told my work that I was riding my bicycle. I told them I was riding a bicycle and got clipped by a car, so they wouldn't.
Wow.
So I wouldn't get in trouble for breaking my wrist skateboarding and putting my job on the line.
There you go. Well, hey, sometimes you got to make those things happen. You got to protect yourself.
They're like, really? You got hit on a bicycle?
Right.
I was like, yeah, true story.
Yeah, right. Totally true.
Not
man.
true.
It happened.
I really did break my wrist, though. That sucked.
Yeah, that always sucks. I've broken mine a few times.
Yeah.
On skateboards, actually.
Yep.
I think every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then fishing's always fun, man. Like you do. I know you were saying earlier you do ice fishing. You do mostly like casting from shore. Do you like to go out on a boat? What's your thing? Streams, lakes.
Yeah, fly fishing is probably my favorite.
Okay,
but I'm the worst at that.
Right, I've never fly fished.
It's really challenging. It's super hard.
That's good.
But it is good. And that's why I like it so much. Because when you do catch something, it's the adrenaline rush is just crazy.
Right.
You can sit and you can cast a spinner out there hundreds of times, but I don't know. A fly rod's just different. And it's hard.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard.
I like the challenge. So
I know it's really popular out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of good friends that do it. Shit, I had a buddy that lived up in Montana for a while, and he was a river guide, and he's 25 years old up there just fishing. And
that's awesome.
Giving tours to these people who just want to go catch a fish,
right?
A good mountain trout or whatever it may be. And
right.
It's like, man, that's awesome.
That is
like,
awesome.
How the hell do I get up there and do that?
Right.
But that's it. You just have to go up there and do it.
That's exactly it. You just have to fucking do it. You can't just sit here and go, man, how do I do it? You do it by doing it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the other thing you mentioned, raising kids, that is the biggest adventure that you can possibly get into, man. Like, I've talked about it before. Like, you go from this utterly helpless creature that it can't do anything for itself, and then you watch that thing start to take its first steps and say its first words, and then it's making coherent sentences and it's talking to you.
Yeah.
That's an adventure right there. Watching that thing grow into an actual freaking human.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
It's kind of scary.
It's very scary.
I'm not ready for it.
I'm not either. Mine's 13.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not ready for it, but I have to be.
Yeah. You know? And looking back at how reckless I was, like, on purpose, like, knowingly reckless, to now having a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. Yeah. Being like the softest man ever, feels like, but
right, because you have to be.
I never know what's coming next.
No,
it's always something new.
Yeah, that's the adventure of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm excited to see him. I'm thinking about pulling an April Fool's prank on Mila because it's her birthday tomorrow, April Fool's Day.
No kidding.
So I don't know. She's at that age where it might like still hurt her feelings.
Is she the 8-year-old?
She's the 8-year-old. Okay. So she kind of knows, and she was like, I got some pranks lined up, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. Man. That's how you have fun with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, having a kid's no fun if you're not going to have fun.
Yeah.
You know? Like I was telling you before, like my daughter's finally to the age where she wants to go hiking and she wants to learn how to start fires and survive, and like she's speaking my language now. I'm like, all right, kid,
that's what you want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I never wanted to push it on her because I didn't want her to like hate it.
Right.
And now she's pushing 13 years old and she comes up to me and says, Dad, I want to learn this stuff. I'm like, you came to the right place, kid, because now the game's getting real.
What better time to explore and have an adventure than with your kids out there too? Yeah. You know?
I mean, I think I was that age when I fell in love with the wilderness. I was like 12 or 13. I remember my parents had a family friend. My parents were never outdoors people.
Right.
They never were. They never have been. You know, like I didn't grow up playing outside. I was always an indoor kid.
Right.
But then they had a friend who took me and my little brother out into the, I want to say it was Big Thompson Canyon.
Yeah.
And let us just run next to the river and in the trees and all that. And I fell in love with that experience.
Right.
And I never looked back, man.
Yeah.
Never ever looked back. I only built on those skills for the last 20 something years.
No kidding.
And I couldn't be happier with it. You know, like that's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, you know, my daughter feels the same way. That's why I didn't want to push it on her, because you know how you naturally kind of rebel towards what your parents tell you to do, right? So I was like, I'm not going to force my daughter to enjoy nature. Right. I'm just not going to. It'll happen with time.
Yeah. So. It's the spark's already there, so you know that she's interested.
Yep.
That's exciting. Yeah, I remember my dad taking me like on a real backpacking trip. I think I was maybe 11 or 12. And that was like the first true like outdoor, like being out in the wilderness, you know, because we caught our fish and we ate our fish, and
that's awesome.
You know, we hiked way up there. It seemed like, at least for me, you know, with my little legs at the time. But you know, even now. I told my daughter, like, I cannot wait until you're that age where you and I can, you know, strap a backpack on and just go on a hike and go camping and just enjoy the fresh air and
it'll come.
Everything around it.
It'll come. It'll be a bonding moment. Like I know when I take my daughter out to teach her all of this stuff, like I'm going to be choking back tears, you know, the whole time, because it's just going to be so emotional for me. Like there's so many of those experiences with your kid. Like my daughter, she plays bass in orchestra.
Oh wow!
And it's hard to watch her and not just smile ear to ear the whole time and just like get choked up. Like she's 12. She's in a middle school orchestra. They're not good,
right?
but I mean they're good enough to produce the sounds, and they're getting that confidence, and that's beautiful. And I encourage every bit of it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just wait. She's gonna be there soon.
Yeah,
you know? It's like my daughter also wants to go to Japan. She signed up for a school trip. She's going to be spending 10 days in Japan next year.
Wow.
Talk about being nervous.
Talk about an adventure, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
exactly.
Shit.
Like, how could I ever possibly say no to that?
I've never even been out of the country.
Whatever it is, whatever it costs, yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Go have that adventure.
How can I come with you?
Yeah, right? Exactly. Originally, it was supposed to be Europe. She was going to do 10 days in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria.
Nice.
But then they announced a Japan trip, and she's more into anime and Japanese stuff, so she wanted to do that one instead. I was like, all right, cool, switch it.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus, Japan is like one of the prettiest places in the world, and also one of the craziest places.
Right. And now with everything that's happening in the world, please choose Japan, not Europe. Yeah. Let's not do Europe right now.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
Yeah, and with my experiences, I mean, I've been to Europe. I've been to Europe a couple times, and I've been to the Middle East, and that wasn't so pleasant.
Yeah.
But I mean, so there's definitely some nervousness in that one,
Sure, that's a big trip.
It is.
That's really big.
And like without your parents, and like I talked to her mom about it, and we're like, we don't even want to go with her.
Yeah,
we want her to have that for herself, to build that confidence and that self-esteem in herself.
Absolutely,
like I can do this, and I can take care of myself.
Yeah,
the requirement is that she needs to spend enough time with me to feel moderately comfortable with some jiu-jitsu. That's my requirement. She needs to know a little bit of self-defense. Okay. She needs to know how to take a grown man like me and throw her over her shoulder. She's a big kid.
Right.
And I mean, come on, man. When you're 12 years old and you can say, I could put my dad in an arm bar. That's confidence. That's confidence right there.
Right.
So I want her to have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a big trip, Japan.
It is, man.
And I'm just over here like, man, I think I want to go back to South Dakota.
Right.
Go out to Deadwood and walk around.
A vacation for me is like an afternoon hike with my dog.
Yeah. What vacation?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, all I do is work.
That's a type of cake, right? Vacation?
Yeah.
I think it's a yellow cake.
I think so. I don't know. I don't eat it very often.
I don't eat the cake at all.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I am excited for this summer, though. I feel like I'm going to spend a lot more time than I have the past few years just getting away from the everyday life and working 60 hours a week to just going out and not worrying about any of it. No cell phone service. Nothing.
Just the wind.
Just the
wind, the rocks, the sky.
God, be able to piss wherever I want. Right. And dig a hole and take a dump in it.
Right.
That's such a good feeling.
Right. And dig a hole, burn some wood. Just live. Just live.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. That's that freedom that we're all searching for, isn't it?
It is. So, it's hard to find these days.
It's real hard to find, especially like you said, you got to work 60 hours, and there's not a lot of time left after that.
That's where those little things come in, man. Like even a 30-minute skate sesh, I'm like, fuck, I feel so much better.
It makes all the difference in the world.
It does.
I walk my dog every day for 15, 20 minutes. That's my peace.
It's her peace too.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably loves that shit.
Wake up. We're up at 4:00 in the morning. We go for a walk.
Damn.
Come back, make breakfast, get ready for work. Go for another walk after work. That's our thing. That's our personal time.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other things to do.
That's important.
So, yeah,
gotta make time important for yourself, man.
You have to.
Even if it's
like clear your mind. That's what it comes down to, like regardless of what it is. Like I'm a big supporter of spend the first 30 minutes of your day without looking at any amount of electronics. Don't check your email. Don't check the weather. Don't do anything. First 30 minutes of your day, you brew your coffee, you smoke a cigarette outside with the dog, you stretch, you do push-ups, whatever it is, but you focus on yourself for 30 minutes, first thing when you wake up.
Right.
After that, then play with your phone, check your emails and texts, and, that kind of stuff. But that first half an hour of the day, man, I think is the most powerful part of your day.
Yeah,
I think you owe it to yourself to give that time to yourself.
I should maybe try that.
You should.
Because I wake up at like 4:45, and I'll normally send out my, good morning messages for the random Tinder girls I have.
They can wait half an hour, trust me.
They can, right? But other than that, I'll just throw Pandora on because I got about a 30-minute commute to work. So
there you go.
it's that does help right there.
Yeah.
I used to live really close to work, and that was awful because I could snooze my alarm until 10 minutes before I had to be there.
Right.
And then I'd get there on time, but I would still be waking up.
Yeah, and you're not doing yourself any favors.
No, not at all. I was hating my life for the first 6 hours of work.
Yeah.
And now I'm like up, I get myself ready. I got a nice drive. I can smoke a cigarette.
Right.
Drink my coffee or a Red Bull.
Right.
So
there you go, man.
It's important. All I do is work, I swear to God. But that's an adventure too.
It can be. Yeah. Especially if you're doing something that you actually enjoy. Do you enjoy what you're doing at least?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get to work with your hands, right?
I do.
You get a certain amount of pride and satisfaction out of building what you build, right?
Yeah, and there's, all sorts of shit. We'll get orders. Like, we just got we got Caterpillar's one of our customers.
Okay.
So we'll get orders that come in for like 300 crates that come in at one time for even just one part of a tool or one part of a machine that's being shipped somewhere. So, we're completely swamped. It's super fast paced, but the entire place smells like fresh cut wood. Awesome. I get to run with an industrial sized nail gun all day.
There you go. That's always fun.
Shit, I would like to think I've gotten pretty good at reading a blueprint and kind of drawing shit up, and it's just they're all big puzzles, and once you figure out the puzzle and the rhythm of it, it can be really enjoyable.
Right.
And like I was telling you earlier today, I went and assembled a $30,000 crate that carries a $2 million machine.
Yeah.
That puts labels on cans. That's what it does. It looks like an airplane engine. It's crazy. Okay. It has a giant prop on it, but it puts labels on cans, and it's probably going to take hundreds of people's jobs somewhere overseas when it gets there.
Right.
Unfortunately, but
right.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. This crate itself could probably be used as a shelter for
wow.
It's massive.
Wow.
And it's a huge challenge. It's super fulfilling when it's accomplished,
Right.
And they pick a couple of us guys to go represent, so
That's
we did
good.
what we had to.
That's good.
And plus, I-25 is fucking crazy all the time
right.
with construction.
The road they said they were going to finish the T-Rex project, freaking 20 years ago?
Dude, I don't think I-25 has ever been clear.
It's never going to be.
It's
never going to be.
No.
They've been talking about turning that road into a 4-lane highway for seriously 20 years.
Yeah.
They never do it.
No.
They just repave the same 2 lanes and then switch them over to another 2 lanes and then repave those and just switch it back.
Yeah.
That's all they ever do.
I don't even know what's going on now. I get so lost, even coming up to Centera and shit, right. Dude. Oh my God, the construction is awful.
Right. And then they're getting all creative with the exits and the...
Why?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why?
What happened to just stay in the right lane
it
veers off to the right? Now you got to stay in the left lane to make a loop over the highway to turn around and go back to the other side. What the hell is this?
You see these people out driving on your neighborhood streets, right?
Yeah.
You really want to throw this curveball at them? Right. Oh, by the way, you're going 75 miles per hour. Your exit's actually now.
Yeah, right. 90-degree turn followed by 2 more. And also, there's going to be a stoplight in the middle of there somewhere.
Yeah, it's
a
absurd.
Mess, man.
It is.
It's a mess. Colorado is such a weird place for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually just moved back to Fort Collins.
Okay.
2 months ago. I wasn't even here. I was in Windsor before.
Okay. Windsor's growing, too.
It is growing. I was on, the farthest east side of it, too.
Okay.
Right off 257 and Crossroads.
Right.
So it was super quiet. For the first year and a half, and after that, just buildings and new residential areas and shit. I think they're doing an outdoor sports complex.
Okay,
it's going to be massive.
Really?
So yeah, Windsor is blowing up.
On top of having the Budweiser Event Center. And all
it's gonna be like a youth sports complex. So it's gonna have baseball fields and soccer fields and
crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna
that's super cool though.
Shit.
Get the kids outside.
It will get the kids outside.
That's important, man.
Get
them away from these TVs and video games.
I know.
I don't have a problem with watching a show or playing a video game.
Me neither.
I'm a huge nerd.
Yeah.
Look around my house. I'm a fucking nerd.
I play more video games now than I did then.
Right,
for sure,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go home and probably get online and see if any of my boys are in the zone.
There you go. See, right? Well, you got to decompress, man.
Yeah.
That's important.
You know, talk shit to some 12-year-old kids that are
right.
consistently
way better than you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you'll never be as good as this kid that's half your age.
Man, if I would have played you when I was 16 years old, dude, shit.
Right? You don't know anything about those 8-bit graphics.
Meet me at Rust, bro. Meet me at Rust.
Right. So yeah, that's good though. I'm glad they're actually doing something for more kids to get them outside and get them focused on sports and exercise and and I think that's really been working over the last 10 years.
I think it has too. Even because, the 60 minutes of play or whatever that they push on Nickelodeon and crap, dude. I'm all for it.
You see a lot less kids, like smoking cigarettes, for example.
Yes.
You don't see that anymore, and that's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
And you see a lot more people and kids growing up and seeing it and following in those footsteps of more yoga, more running, more weightlifting and exercise, and that's only going to make us as a nation stronger and live longer and healthier lives. That's amazing. That's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Because you think back to when we were kids, when we were our kids' age, we looked ancient to them.
Yeah.
Now we don't. We're living a lot longer because of this kind of stuff, and they're just gonna outperform us fucking head over heels.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Because I didn't do all that much.
Right. Well, I mean, there's always the oddball, right?
Shit.
So.
Yeah. Well, I do have at least one pretty crazy story.
Okay.
It was probably one of my best adventures.
I'm interested.
I was living in Grand Junction.
Okay.
This was before I met you.
Okay.
Almost 10 years ago.
More.
Really?
I think we've known each other
for somewhere
around 10
I turned
years,
30 next month, and I was just barely 21 or 22 when I met you.
Okay.
But so I was living in Grand Junction, right? I was 19. Okay. Went up there for college. I actually went up there on a scholarship for diving.
Believe
it or not, for diving.
Cool.
Yeah. I busted my knee really bad in wrestling.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, well, shit, I still want to compete,
Right.
I grew up playing sports, so I was like, fuck it, I'll be a diver. I'm pretty good on a trampoline. I should be good on a diving board.
Yeah, why not? Right?
And I was actually pretty good. Okay. And I went to state a couple times, and I was the first in the region for a while, and went to Junction on scholarship, and had an amazing time. The whole year was just such a blast. I mean, Grand Junction's right on the border of Utah, and there's the dunes out there. So it seemed like every weekend we were doing something crazy. And we actually drove up. It was our last weekend. Met a bunch of cool guys when I went down there from all over the nation. And we drove way out into Utah up in the Arches National Park.
Okay.
Which is super dope. I don't know if you've ever been through there.
I've not.
But it is fucking cool, man. Like, those arches are huge.
It's on my bucket list.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah. I'd never seen it, and plus I was probably super, super stoned. But I was mind blown. So me and a group of 8 guys went out, and we found a really awesome spot. We were a couple hours in, drinking, having a good time, just reminiscing on the whole year, because we were going to go home after that. It was finals week. And we're like, you know what? There's that peak over there. Let's go try to get to the top of it. Let's go do this right now. Last big adventure, right?
Right.
So we take off on this trek, and we're sending it, man. We got our bottle of whiskey, and we got beer stashed, and we're about 90% of the way up this hill. And we get to the last little bit, and it's probably like a 35-foot rock face.
Okay.
We're like, all right, this is nothing. We got this. Come on, we're all in our...
It's 35 feet, come on.
We're on our primes right now. Right. We got this. So we started going up, and it was fucking awesome, dude. Every bit of it was just awesome. But being in the midst of everything and all the bullshit, I didn't really realize or pay attention to the rock being all sandstone. So about halfway up, I grabbed onto this big old juggy hole, dude, and it just broke right off the wall, and there I went. I just started falling back. I gave myself as good of a push as I could to try to get turned.
Yeah.
So almost I could like land forward and like maybe do a somersault and then stop myself with my feet. That is not what happened. So, so I pushed myself away from the wall. You know, it was really fast, and I got kind of turned around, and my leg caught on this big boulder on the way down and just snapped.
Oh shit!
So
you broke your leg.
I broke my leg.
How far did you fall?
I was about halfway up the cliff, so maybe
somewhere
15 to 20 feet. Yeah.
Damn.
So, and the landing was a good angle because we had climbed up this big ass hill to get to where we were.
Right.
So, broke my leg. I fucking knew it. Nobody else thought I did. They just thought I was being dramatic or whatever the fuck it was.
Right.
But I was like, this shit is broken. There's no way I'm making it up that now. Right. I got to get back down. So I think it took us almost 5 hours to get back down because two of my friends were basically carrying me the rest of the way. I was hopping 1 foot. It took us like 3 hours to get up. Damn. So stuck in the middle of Utah. All of us were drunk. We had one car or two cars. All of us were drunk, so none of us were driving. Nearest hospital was 3-4 hours away.
Oh, no.
So, you know, the best thing I thought for my best interest was just drink as much of that whiskey as I possibly could.
Yeah, that'll fix it, right?
Well, it helped. Yeah. It didn't fix that damn thing, no, but it helped. It wasn't until I woke up at about 6 a.m. and my whole bottom of my leg was purple, and I basically woke up screaming.
What did you end up breaking?
So yep, right here on my right side. So last week of school, we left at like 6:30. Those guys saw my foot and were like, "Oh shit, he did fucking break his leg."
Right.
So they drove me back all hungover, took me to the emergency room. I had to clean out my whole dorm room, get everything packed, go to all my finals, which, let's be honest, dude, at that point my finals didn't really matter in my school year. But it was just really wild. You know, my dad came to pick me up, and he like saw me in my cast and everything, and I'm scooting around on the floor trying to move these boxes because my shit hurts.
Right,
dude. He looked at me just with this look of like, man, you must have done something either really right or really wrong.
Right,
this is pitiful. But that. Dude, I will never forget those guys, ever. Right. Even if I wasn't friends with them before, like, that shit was so wild. I can't, I think back on it all the time. Like, I really snapped my leg on the middle of a drunken, extreme hiking is what I like to call it. We went extreme hiking. And something either went really right or really wrong, but
hey, look, you had an adventure out of it, and you learned something, right?
I did.
Don't get hammered and climb rocks.
No.
That's not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
So, not a good idea.
Not even with rope. Because I've done that too, and it's also not a good idea.
Right. Something about that whole loss of motion and control and balance.
Yeah, that was...
need all of that.
That was a hell of a time, man.
Oh, man. That's great.
It's time for another one.
Story.
It's a good one.
That's a good story.
I need something like that just without the
breaking.
Without the injury.
Yeah. When I was I had to have been 16 or so. Throughout my teenage years, it seemed like clockwork. Every 6 months, I would break something. It was ridiculous. But I remember one time we were teenagers, and this was back when Jackass was like just starting to get popular. Like it might not have even been Jackass yet; it might have just been CKY.
Yeah,
right. Like back in those days.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're doing all the stunts they tell you not to do. And I remember I jumped off my friend's house, and my shoe, I was wearing a skate shoe, those shitty Vans.
Yeah.
And, you're a skater back then, you're a teenager, nothing fit, right? So the shoe comes off like halfway through falling, and I land on it all sideways, snap my ankle there. Dude. We go inside, we smoke a bunch of weed. we get up, and I'm like, you know what? I think it feels okay now. We go skateboarding, snap it again.
Oh my
God, dude. Twice in one day. didn't want to go home and face the music with my parents, right? Because I know you're smoking weed and you broke your ankle. You jumped off a fucking house. What's wrong with you, right? I don't want to face any of that. So I stay at a friend's house and just ignore it. The next day we go skateboarding. I try to do a kickflip on like a 5-stair. Oh. Snap! Round 3.
Man.
My dumb ass broke my own ankle 3 times within 24 hours before I said, all right, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then I called my mom and told her what happened. She laughed at me, took me to the hospital. She's like, did you learn anything? I was like, yeah, I called you the first time.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, exactly.
Man, at what point do you just...
Dude,
Mercy.
Was thick-headed, man. I was so dumb.
So much more resilient then, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could hurt yourself pretty bad.
Yeah.
Be like, okay.
Yeah, I break my ankle now. I'm like, round 1, man. I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah.
It hurts like hell. Yeah. I'm laid up for a month.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
But 15, 16 years old, man, bring it on.
Absolutely.
I could take more.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah,
it was like addicting.
Yeah, exactly.
It really was.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I could do this. I've seen other people get hurt. I can get hurt again before I have to go to the hospital. I don't need no fucking hospital, right?
Yeah.
No, you do.
But then it's also learning how to like eat shit, but do it in a way to where you're not gonna break anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I got a road rash on both my shoulders right now just from falling at the skate park because I'm not as good as I used to be.
Right, but hey, road rash is better than broken bones.
I still know how to fall.
So, yeah,
I can still fall gracefully.
Roll, man.
All those years, they paid off.
That's it.
I'm now the old guy at the skate park out there.
Yeah, right.
Trying to give advice to those little 16-year-old skater punks.
Right.
I'm like, you know why I'm so winded? Because I smoked a bunch of cigarettes and did a bunch of drugs. Don't be like me.
Don't be like me.
Don't be like me. Now watch this.
Right. It's like, be that part of me, but don't be the bad thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the the stuff that we need to teach our kids. Like I try not to tell my daughter to not do stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like obviously, yeah, don't do drugs, don't get drunk, don't be a moron.
Right.
But by all means, live adventurously. Take some chances.
How else?
Roll the fucking dice every now and then. Because that's how you're gonna learn. That's how you're gonna tell great stories. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And kids are gonna be kids whether or not you want them to do that.
Right.
So you gotta just go ahead, just fucking put it out there. Like, go ahead. Just do your thing.
That's it, dude. The more you push something on them, the more they're gonna
fight back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's gonna be worse.
You don't learn right from wrong by being told what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Like you learn it by going out there and being like, oh,
yeah,
I fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the wrong thing.
That moment where you're sitting there and you're like, at some point, I have to tell my parents what happened.
Yeah.
And that weight on your mind of like, oh, what is this going to be like? It's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. Like that's where you learn.
Yeah.
Right there. In that moment, that's where you sit back and you reflect on it and go, okay, in the future, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And then you end up doing something else stupid later anyway. But, and then you learn from that one.
It's all it's all a lesson, man.
Exactly. There's no failures.
No.
There are no failures.
There's
you don't fail until you don't get back up. That's when you fail.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth, man.
If you're able to get back up and do something again and learn from your experience, it's never a failure. It's just part of the adventure.
Yeah.
And you got to roll with it, man.
You just got to live your best adventure.
Damn right.
Every
single day.
That's fucking
Every single day.
Yeah.
And if you take some hits along the way, man, fucking get back up.
Dude,
and do it again.
It just makes it a better story.
Exactly.
Like that's really what it is, man. It's a challenge. Nobody said it was going to be easy, really. And if they did, they were fucking lying to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'll tell you what, it ain't.
No, man.
It's not.
No,
I fight every day, dude.
Yeah.
I fight every day.
Yeah, you get to our age, just waking up is not easy anymore.
It doesn't matter what time. If it's before 8 o'clock, I'm pissed when I'm waking up.
Right.
That's about it. Unless it's for something that I enjoy.
Right.
Like if I'm camping or fishing or something.
Yeah.
I'll wake up early as hell to leave to go on a freaking fishing trip.
Oh, yeah. See the sunrise.
You want me to get
the first one on the lake.
Dude,
yeah.
100%. But if you want me to be the first person at the office or in the warehouse, you can fuck yourself.
Dude, don't even ask me to show up in an office.
Bro, yeah.
Be like, I'll pay you $1 million to sit in this fucking box and look at a computer screen. Nah, man, pass. No. That's cool. I'll take $15 an hour and work outside and sweat to death.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, fuck offices. That ain't gonna happen for me.
I know.
So,
I
had that job before. I did that when I was in the military for a little while, and I hated every minute of it.
Yeah.
I would never, ever, ever work in an office again.
I don't think I could do it. I haven't yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting older, man. And unless I do something really crazy with my life or hit the lotto, I'm probably going to be working for a long time.
Yeah, probably. So, I mean, we all are.
You know.
So. Yeah, find something that you're passionate about, man. Turn it into what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know? Well, if you like what you're doing right now, how can you make it your own? You know, or how can you adapt it to make it your own?
I actually started making like skate boxes.
Did you really?
Because I have access to all kinds of lumber now.
That's awesome.
We build for Kawasaki, and they're super particular on their quality.
Okay.
So we use like 12-foot 2x4s, and if they're a little bowed, they waste them. That's not waste. That's right. $30 worth of wood right there.
Yeah, that can be used for something else, right?
So it actually has. You saying that, like, working with wood all the time, it's got me thinking, like, shit, I built a cat tree for my new kitty that I got.
There you go.
A skate box, so that way I can just skate outside of my house. You know, there's all sorts of things, man.
Yeah.
It's just
let's see. Start doing that, man. Start like building more skate boxes, right? With all the excess material.
That's what.
Start taking them out to like the YMCA or something. Donate them to the kids.
Absolutely.
You know, that gives you the experience to build something, and then if you decide that that's something you want to do later on as your own profession, you have it and you can show it to people.
Yeah. And
you're helping the community at the same time, man. It's a win all around.
That really is.
You know, like
sparks of creativity.
Yeah.
You pay it forward everywhere you go.
Exactly. You can even start teaching kids how to make their own.
Right.
You know?
I could be that. I could be that guy who shows kids how to do things.
Yeah.
That don't have that guy in their life.
Yeah, exactly. And there are a lot of those kids.
There's
a lot of them. I was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, nobody taught me how to fish. Nobody taught me how to hike. Nobody taught me how to fix a car. Nobody taught me how to fix my bicycle tire.
Right.
Like, I was on my own until my stepdad came into the equation. I was like 14 before I learned any of that. And then at that point, I'm 14 years old. I'm fucking rebelling. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy coming into my house trying to teach me shit? Like, I don't got time for
Probably not the best timing for a stepdad to step
terrible
in.
Timing.
Yeah.
Which says immense things about that guy. That, like, to this day, he's one of my favorite people in the world. Yeah. He's my best friend. Nice. Call him anytime I can. You know, like, I mean, he lives in Florida, and obviously we're here in Colorado, so I mean, I don't get to see him very often.
Yeah.
But, dude, what that guy's taught me in my life is invaluable to me. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to reach into a child's life and to provide them with that knowledge and that experience that they're lacking from, you know, through no fault of their own, you know, it's powerful, man. Yeah. It's really powerful.
It is.
Like, I know I would take that opportunity right now if I could, you know.
I know it's been pretty eye opening because my daughters they're just so pure still and genuine, and they care so much about how other people feel. And you know, Mila, my oldest, all the time will come down with like a handful of toys straight up that she's like, we should get rid of these. Like, I have so many of these. Like, why don't we donate these? And it's a great feeling. She loves it every time that we do it.
Good.
And Mavie, on the other hand, she's like, no, these are my toys.
Right.
But it's really heartwarming to see them do that just out of the kindness in their heart, not because anybody told them that it's important. They just know it's important to care about other people.
And on some level, they know what it feels like to get those toys.
Right.
And so on some level, whether they're fully conscious of it or not, they understand that that's the feeling that they're giving to somebody else.
Right.
And that's something that like the world kind of has a bad habit of ripping out of people.
Yeah.
So nurture that.
Absolutely.
Nurture that for sure. That's the good stuff right there.
Right. I learn a lot from them all the time, man.
Yep. Like I said, man, being a parent.
They're my best adventure right now.
That is the best adventure you will ever have in your life, and it's never ending.
No.
It's every single day, every single time you see them, it's always going to be a great adventure.
Yep.
Even on the boring days, you know.
Looking forward to the adventure we share tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. See, I look forward to every single thing, every smile, every little chuckle from some cartoon that I don't understand.
Yeah,
it warms my heart, man. That's the joy of being a parent, and you can't put a price on that, and you can't put any words or emotions to it. It's just good. It's pure good.
It is.
It's amazing, man. It's really good to have that in your life.
Hell yeah.
So I'm glad you have that.
Hell yeah, man.
It's important.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah. So what else, man? What? You have any other plans maybe for like this summer? What about like bigger, like beyond like just this summer? Is there like one just fucking grand adventure that's always been in your mind that you want to do?
I don't know.
Wingsuit the Grand Canyon. That would be fucking sweet.
That would be really sick.
Right?
I don't know. There's I feel like even this is so small scale. There's the Gorge Zip Line is what it's called. It's out in Saluda, North Carolina. That looks just unbelievable, man. The forest is so dense and the trees are so thick. And I think just being able to do anything like that, I don't know. Bigger picture, 5-year plan, I would definitely like to be out of Colorado, possibly in Montana or North Carolina.
Yeah.
I have a lot of opportunity with my job. So really just being able to do those types of things and just live freer, you know. Still work because I enjoy it still.
Right, you have to have something to do.
But just live more free, man. That's really it.
What is that to you, to live more free?
Shit, I want to be able to pack up my bags and go wherever I want to, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because I'm like I've almost trained myself that like you don't have time for any of that stuff. Like you have to go to work. You have to make money for your kids. I don't know. I think the biggest, grandest adventure is out there. I have no idea what it is yet. Hopefully I make it to that point.
Right. You might just reach out and slap you one day.
Yeah.
You have no idea it's coming.
I really don't.
So.
I don't know. It could be a spur of the moment. I could 2 years from now have this trip planned out, and I have no idea what it is right now at this moment.
Right.
But I would love to shoot something with a bow and arrow.
Like go hunting?
I like go hunting. I have shot. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I've been hunting before. I've been hunting before, but I think it would be cool to go shoot something with a bow and arrow.
That would be cool.
That's
something I've always wanted to do.
It's pretty primitive, dude.
Just go out there and stalk and smack an elk with a freaking arrow.
That shit is it's so primitive, man. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's so in tune with everything around you.
Right.
You're so aware of what you're about to step on, and if anything, if you hear anything, just the adrenaline and the release of dopamine. Right. I mean, even thinking about it right now,
that life, and then you have to fucking harvest it, haul it out of there,
right?
And then you're feeding your family with that, and you know where it came from. That's beautiful.
It is.
It's awesome,
and it seems like so much, but it doesn't. It seems so easy because it's what man did to survive for so long.
Right.
You know?
Well, I mean, dude, go get your hunting license. Look, I'll go get it with you. We'll go do that next year. Next hunting season, we'll go bow hunting together. Okay. We'll go smack something.
We'll at least try, and even if
I've never done it because I mean, you see where I live. I have a small spot. You know, I don't have enough room for like a good freezer. Full of meat.
Right.
And that's what has always been my reason for not hunting is that I don't have anywhere to put the meat from the animal that I kill, and so therefore for me it's kind of unreasonable to kill the animal.
Right. If you're going big game, you got to have a good spot to store.
But at this point in my life, I think I know enough people that I can give meat to, and I mean, I've got the dog. I can feed her raw meat too. You know, like, and it's good for her. And it's good for me. It's good for my kid.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, I think I'm ready to start hunting.
Yeah.
So, because that's always been what's held me back. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to go out there and kill an animal that I can't use as much of it as possible. If I can't store it, what am I going to do with it?
Right.
And it seems like a waste.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to do.
Yeah. So I've never done it just because of that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm 100% down.
Yeah.
To
let's go.
I've talked about it with Trey Ozzie.
Yeah.
And he encourages it a lot. It takes a lot of practice. He said it takes a lot of practice. I believe it, but
well, we should definitely start looking into this. We'll make some plans, and maybe next hunting season we'll get out there. We'll find ourselves a deer or an elk or whatever we can get a tag for, and go take some bows and start shooting. I don't even know how to shoot a fucking bow.
Shit, it's been a long time.
I can shoot a rifle. I can shoot a rifle all day long.
Right,
dead on accurate.
Right.
But a bow and arrow, man, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
I have to ask my daughter to teach me. She knows how to do it. She goes shooting at the archery range, but I don't.
Yeah.
So maybe I should start doing that with her. Yeah.
Well, it's all recorded now, so we have to do it.
Shit, you're right.
This is all.
Yeah, now we have to.
We have to.
There's no excuse now.
So
that sounds like fun to me.
It does to me too.
Okay
yeah, me too, man.
Okay.
I'm back in FOCO now too.
Yeah,
so
right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's an archery range right there by the interstate, isn't there?
Yeah, off of the Prospect.
Yeah.
The Prospect.
That's not even far away. Was it 5
No,
miles?
and I've been to that archery range.
Is it good?
It is good.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah.
They have
rentals. Could I go over there and rent a bow and learn how to shoot that way? Kind of get practice with different.
It's more they don't really have rentals. It's more just like a public course. Like you walk down this trail and they have like tree blinds.
Okay.
And just like different scenarios that you would kind of shoot at, like if this is where your mount is or whatever. But it's cool. It's like you're going on a little hike too, because it takes you all the way down this trail and you got all these different targets. So
cool.
It's pretty neat.
That's really cool.
I haven't been in a long time. One of my childhood friends is a huge hunter, and his dad and him would take me, and I just basically went for the experience, not because I was an avid archery guy.
Right.
But it is fun.
That's cool.
And now that I'm older, I'm totally down. Yeah.
Yeah. More adventures, man. More things.
More adventures.
Just more things to do. More things to learn. More challenges to endure. All of that stuff.
Bring it on.
Need more of it. Yeah. You know what I've always wanted to do? And this is how I know I've made it in my life. I'm probably going to have to find a girl that has horses in order to pull this off, because I don't have a horse. And I don't know anybody who has horses.
That takes a lot.
I just have to get really lucky and meet that super hot cowgirl girl who just has a horse and is willing to let me live out my dream. I want to wear a kick-ass cowboy hat, and I want to ride a horse, and I want to shoot a lever action 30-30 while riding a horse.
Yes.
I don't know why, but that's something I want to do. I want to ride a horse and shoot a lever action 30-30 while wearing a cowboy hat and hit my targets.
It's like the most Western thing you could do.
I don't even know where this dream comes from. I'm a science fiction nerd. my dream should be to have a fucking lightsaber, but no, it's not. It's to be a cowboy for a day. I don't know where this comes from, but it's something ingrained in me. I have to have that one day in my life.
Oh, man,
I have to.
You made it. Once you've gotten there, you've made it.
Yeah, that's how I know I made it. When that happens, man, give me my heart attack. Send me on my way. I've done everything I need to do in my life. I've been a cowboy for an hour. I'm cool. I'm good, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest dreams right there.
Pretty random.
I know, right?
But it is awesome.
That's something I want to do.
Hell yeah.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
Nice. Hell yeah. It seems like easier times back then.
I know.
I love the Wild West.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like going to Deadwood, South Dakota. I don't know if you've ever been there. But walking through that town is crazy. Like I went into the number 10 saloon, like downstairs, because the town right now they had to rebuild because it flooded.
Okay.
So they still have like the actual level that the town was primarily built on.
Okay.
So you go into the number 10 saloon, you walk down the stairs, and it's the craziest feeling ever. You push these double doors open, and the poker table, the exact spot that Wild Bill Hickok was shot and killed at, is right there in that town of Deadwood. Like, you drive through the Black Hills to get there.
Yeah.
It's about as Wild West as you can
That
get.
sounds awesome.
It is so cool,
that
man.
Sounds so cool.
The whole town is like,
it
is. It's awesome. The whole town is like just a Wild West museum. And plus, you can gamble there.
Yeah.
which is pretty sweet.
You have to be able to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a trip, man. I'm glad I got to go down there.
Right.
That shit is cool. You could probably find badass fucking cowgirl down there.
Right.
At least in Gillette.
I should go over to Deadwood and see if I can live my dream.
Go to Deadwood. Yeah. Maybe near Deadwood, because Deadwood's like the town itself. You have like your locals, and then you have like your tourist people.
Right.
But shit, there's Gillette and Rapid City that are all right there. Yeah. Super country, man. Well, country girls, that's for sure.
I'm gonna check it out one day.
Do it.
I might be able to live my dream.
You really might.
Never know.
You really might.
You never know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know either.
It's so weird. I mean, it's like a 30-second experience that would like define my entire fucking life. It should be like people would be like, "Oh man, I summited Mount Everest like 3 times last year." It'd be like, "Yeah, well, I shot a twig off with a 30-30 lever action wearing a leather hat on a horse."
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
Full gallop.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was way better than climbing Everest.
I mean, how many people could say they've really done that now?
Yeah, right.
Like these days, though.
Yeah.
Unless you live on a ranch somewhere and you're a
Exactly.
trained horseman.
Right.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm no cowboy.
I've never even shot a lever action.
No, me.
I've done literally none of those things. I don't even know if I've worn a cowboy hat before.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean...
Besides the BB gun I used to pump up as a kid, that's about the only lever action I've shot.
That little Red Rider?
Yep. Yeah. Yep, that was it, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, one day. One day. I'll get there and, got to be other things to do, right? Other adventures.
Yeah. You know, I might go skydiving for my birthday.
Oh, yeah?
I've never done that.
I've never done that either.
I figured I'd have to be pretty fucking unlucky to have something go wrong on my 30th birthday.
Yeah, right.
Which is also my golden birthday because it's April 30th.
Oh, there you go.
So my dirty 30 is on April 30th. Wow. If my shoe doesn't open, then it was my time.
Maybe it's fate then at that point, you know.
Right.
So I think it'll be all right.
I think
things are pretty safe these days.
They are.
I mean, like how often do you really hear of somebody like dying from skydiving anymore?
Very, very
never,
rarely.
Right?
Yeah, it's rare. It does happen though.
Yeah.
But it's rare.
Yeah, I mean, one of my childhood heroes, he died not skydiving but wingsuiting. But I mean, that's fucking wingsuit.
Yeah,
that's extreme shit.
Yeah,
like Dean Potter. Do you know who that was? That's who I'm talking about.
I believe so.
He was a rock climber.
Yes,
he was always in Yosemite, and he invented freebasing, as he called it. Like you climb up without a rope, but you still have a parachute on or a wingsuit, and then you just dive off the fucking rocks. Yeah, that guy. I idolized that guy growing up, and he died wingsuiting.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
I mean, if you die living your best adventure, then
shit.
Fuck it. That's fair play, right?
That was the best adventure you could.
That's how I see it. You know, like I've always loved climbers. So, like for another example, like Dan Osman.
Yeah.
Dan Osman was a fantastic climber, and
right.
he found that he enjoyed falling more than climbing at a certain point, and so all he did was strap giant ropes across like canyons and just take a fucking running leap off of the rocks and just with a rope. And one day his rope snapped. I mean, but when you're doing crazy shit like that, dude, you're rolling the dice.
Like that.
You're rolling the dice hard. You're not even rolling the dice, dude. You're flipping a coin at that point.
Yeah.
And that coin's probably pretty heavy on one side.
Yeah.
So
you can only get away with that for so long.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, when people are doing things like that, like they know that that's the outcome at some point,
right?
And so, like, is it really that bad when it happens?
You know,
I mean, of course, it impacts the people that love them, right? I mean, it's terrible for them.
And the people who look up to them and their peers in that kind of world of adventure. Right. Like who's the free soloer? That's
Alex Honnold.
Alex Honnold.
Yeah,
that man.
He climbed with those guys.
Yeah, he did. And that's why I had recognized that Dean Potter name. But he's out there. I mean, he climbed El Capitan.
Yeah. Free fucking solo, too.
Free solo.
Yeah. Amazing. It was an amazing video to see.
I mean,
I wish I could climb with Alex. Yeah, I can't hold a candle to that boy's skills. I mean, I might be able to climb my house better than him.
Yeah,
but that's because he hasn't seen it before. Give him one run, he's gonna smoke my ass.
Right,
you know?
right.
So, but no, I'd like to, get to climb with those kind of guys, like at least one time,
Yeah,
just to be in that sphere for like an afternoon and be like, that's what professional level looks like.
right.
Like be like catching a fucking a pass from Drew Brees. Be like, that's what that feels like.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things.
Even just looking at those walls, some of those walls, like being in Yosemite and just looking.
Life goal. Yosemite. I want to go so bad. They I read recently that they're now requiring reservations for all climbers in Yosemite.
Wow.
All.
Well, it's a pretty popular place.
Yeah,
it's like the most
which means like if I
place.
want to go climbing in Yosemite, like I gotta get my name on that list for like 5 years from now.
Wow.
I gotta get my name on now, like because do you know the history of climbing there? Like back in I want to say it was like in the 70s. Like people just lived on the valley floor. They would quit their jobs, go live in a van or live in a tent, and that's what they did all year long. They just sat there and just climbed over and over and over again, just climbing the nose and living. And that was their lifestyle. It's like the birth of climbing in Yosemite, which ends up being like the birth of rock climbing as we know it now.
Right.
It's a really cool, interesting story to hear those guys, talk about that kind of stuff. Like, and now to say like you have to have a reservation to climb there now, like I can get it. I get it. There's a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of hype. People want to do things. It's bad for the environment when you let too many people do it. So I understand that, but at the same time, it just feels
just restricted.
Yeah. It
that's
feels
not
restricted.
freedom.
Yeah, and that's not freedom, and that's not the spirit of climbing.
No,
and that's not. It feels like a slap in the face to me. Yeah. And I've never been there.
Right.
I can only imagine how people like these fucking professional climbers, Hunnell and Caldwell, and them like. How do they feel like saying, whoa, that's El Cap, that's my mountain.
Right.
And you're going to tell me that I can only come here like a certain amount of times.
Right. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it doesn't. But, again, it kind of makes sense. Like, even Rocky Mountain National's taking reservations now. You can only get in on passes and reservations. And
crazy.
It's a crazy time to be an outdoors person. Like it seems like just to walk across the street now, you got to get a fucking pass,
right? Like when you would think that being outdoors and being up wherever you want to be would be more free than this shit here. When it's like, oh, I need to renew my fishing license, and I need to make sure I have an extra rod, and I got to make sure I have a state park pass.
Right.
It's like, God damn it.
Right.
All I want to do is go drive up next to this lake,
yeah,
park my car and walk a while and pitch a tent.
Right.
That's it.
Right. I have no problem with paying the fines. You know, like I know this year here in Colorado, I think we're shifting over towards our state parks passes included in our license plate renewals.
Oh, okay.
And so everybody's paying for the state parks now.
Huh.
So you automatically. My understanding, at least, is that you automatically get a state parks pass, or maybe you get one for cheaper now because everybody's paying for it in their license plate renewals.
Huh.
I gotta look more into that.
I haven't heard
to get the solid facts on it. But that's a thing.
Oh, they're doing that now.
It's in effect.
Oh shit! Maybe that's why it was so expensive.
Yeah, Johnny was telling me that just like a month ago.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of nice.
I'm for that because first off, not everybody understands that.
Right.
So. That money's going to the state parks, right? We need that. We need that extra protection for nature, and we need that extra, funding for our state park troopers and all that stuff. They're good people.
Yeah.
They're just looking out for what we all love, trying to protect it. So I mean, if I pay, an extra, $5 or $10 a year to put plates on my car, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
And if that money's going to go towards actually like helping, the places that I hold dear to my heart and my soul, like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
And if they give me a state parks pass for the year, That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I don't have to think
I
about it anymore.
I don't have to pay for parking when I go hiking anymore. That's
I love
cool.
That,
like,
that is kind of nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm for that system, you know? And I'm not really for the reservations system, but I'm all for paying to get into a national park.
Yeah.
And a state park, you know?
Right.
We got to protect it somehow.
That's true.
Money's got to come from somewhere.
That's true.
Scout's not going to pay. She don't have a job.
No.
You know? Like,
no. Do you want to?
So I got to do it. Scout's like, man, I just want to chase squirrels and shit.
Kind of what I want to do too. Man.
Yeah, right?
Fuck, sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to get at? Talk about?
Besides the fact that it's been at least 6 or 7 years since I've seen you face to face.
It has been a minute.
And now I get to come over and just shoot the shit and talk about life with somebody who I considered a good friend at one point.
Still,
man. It's cool, man.
Yeah,
I was excited when I saw that up there. I was like, I would love to come over, even if I didn't have a good story. I'd be like, shit.
All stories are good stories, man. Like, say you didn't know what you were going to talk about, but look at this. You got a great story. We've been sitting here, we're talking probably over an hour now.
Yeah, probably.
And we got some good stories out of you, man.
Dude, we had some stories
climbing stories and fishing stories.
We had some stories from the milkman days.
Oh,
you remember when? You remember when Johnny broke his fucking leg in the milk truck?
Yeah, and I sat in the back, and I splinted his ankle in the back of the milk truck. And in between splinting his ankle, you're calling out milk, and I'm handing you milk bottles, and you and Roman are running them out the house. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
That was awesome.
That was a good time.
That was a good time.
That was a damn good time.
Johnny was literally laid out on the empty bottles in the back.
I don't think any one of us who were milkmen at that job, I don't think a single one of us got out without an injury.
I don't think
if you worked there for more than like a week, which most people quit before a week.
Yeah.
I think you had to end up with an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the people listening, we worked as actual home delivery milkmen during the day, driving around with a truck full of glass milk bottles, sprinting. You know, like when your parents tell you don't run with scissors, what they don't tell you is that you might one day grow up to be a milkman and do wind sprints hundreds of times a day with glass bottles in your hands. So you can imagine running up steps and all that. It's a dangerous job.
It was.
It's super dangerous, but it was so much fun.
I loved it.
I did too.
I really did.
I did too. I did it for like 8 years, man. I loved that job.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
We're old now. We can't do that anymore. No. That's a young man's game for sure.
It is.
But yeah, and I mean, like, I used to say it all the time when I was working there. The friends I met working at the dairy, the friends I met as milkmen, and this holds true still today, are in whatever way they ended up being closer and better friends and longer lasting friends than the ones that I made when I served in Iraq.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement, but it's a true statement.
That says a lot.
I mean, I don't even talk to the guys I deployed with.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Never talk to those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here with you.
Right.
6 years later.
That's where it all started.
You know, Johnny was over here just a week ago.
That's crazy.
Sitting here talking to me. Still talk to all these guys. You know? Our bond was that we used to get real stoned and
slang milk, dude. God, we used to run those parts, dude.
Yeah, man, it was so much fun.
It really was, man. Yeah. I think first or second day, Landon told me, like, try to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Like, as fast as you can without hurting yourself.
Yeah.
I wore boots the first day because I was like, all right, I'm working in a dairy, you know.
Right.
Now he was like, you need to wear something a little quicker on your feet.
Sprinting all day long. Running shoes, man. Running shoes and shorts and a bottle of water.
Oh, my God.
That's the ticket.
That was it, man. I did. I enjoyed that job a lot.
Yeah. I was sprinting out of the truck before it even comes to a stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got risky with it sometimes.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Shit, there was one road I was like, every time I hit it, I was like, it was so level.
Right.
And so straight. Every time I let go of the steering wheel, it would just run true. And every time I hit the road, I was like, man, could I do it? And I did it, dude.
Yeah.
I grabbed my milk, ran it up to the fucking house, came back in, truck still in drive the whole time. went to the back of the truck, still in drive. It's still moving forward.
Just creeping down the road.
Dude, I never once touched the steering wheel, didn't hit the brake, none of it. I just let it coast, and I just... It's like, that was probably one of the dumbest things I could have done.
Probably, yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. Well,
it didn't go wrong.
Did a lot of dumb shit that job. You know? Yeah. We can't obviously say the name of the company, but they treated us well, and they were a hell of a lot of fun to work for.
They were.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
Every minute of it. For 8 fucking years, every single day was a fucking kick in the pants. Man.
Yeah. For as long as I worked there, it wasn't... I think I did... I think I did just over... Or just under 18 months there, maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
Something like that.
It ended with a dumb decision on my point.
That's almost what I meant.
You can't drive milk around if you don't have a license.
Right,
so,
right. And you, it's one of those jobs too. Like, you can't be a milkman if you don't have a screw loose somewhere.
Right.
Like, none of those guys, none of us, every single one of us had something broken about us.
Yeah.
Whether it was physically or mentally or emotionally, dude, we were a mess. Every damn one of us.
And it all worked so perfectly.
Yeah. Everybody was friends.
Yeah.
Everybody got along.
That shit show of a cooler that we all drug our milk around in with metal hooks on.
Yeah. Still got my metal hook.
I do too.
I got my milk hook.
I made sure I walked out of there with my hook.
I bet you everybody who stays there for at least a couple of months takes that damn hook home.
Yeah.
That's like our war prize.
Yes, it is. Everyone had their own like spot where they'd stash it in their truck.
Man, that is... I do miss that place.
I see those trucks driving around sometimes, and I'm like...
Too. Yeah. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I see one pull up behind me, I'll switch lanes. I'm like, let that milkman go through.
Yeah.
He's more important than the pizza man.
Right?
Let that boy go.
He's got things to do.
Right?
Yeah, hundreds of houses.
Sometimes I'll see him at like 10:30 at night. I'm like, oh, dude. So many times I've been in your shoes. I know it. I know what's in your head right now.
So many times. And that's when the boys would come out and save the day.
Yep.
It'd be like, yo, I got 6 pages left.
Yeah.
These things are not running well.
Text, all of a sudden there's 3 more milk trucks in your neighborhood. It's like, all right, man, let's split these up or let's join forces.
Oh, God. It's amazing. That was an amazing family.
It was.
Those guys are great.
And then after work, we'd all sit together and get together in one of the milk trucks. We just smoke weed and drink beers. And just tell stories.
Share the tips.
Just like we are right now. We just sit around and tell stories and just have fun.
Yeah.
Man, I miss those days.
Me too.
I miss those days.
Me too. A lot of nostalgia when I think about it. When I drive through Bellevue, I'm like, damn, there she is. Hey, there. Right. When I'm with my kids,
right?
There's a dairy I used to work at.
Yeah. I see a milk truck drive by. I'm looking for the number.
Yep.
Like, is that mine?
Right? A little skull and crossbones I had on my hood ornament, dude.
Still out there. It's still driving.
It is.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
That's awesome, man. Come a long way from then. A lot of ups and downs, but it's been long.
Well, that's life, man.
It's been a long way, yeah.
Ups and downs.
Hell yeah.
So, well, shit. I think that's a good place to end. How about you?
I like it, man.
All right.
I think it was a good talk. I'm just glad I got to come over and hang out, dude.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
Yeah, it's been way too long.
Shit.
Get your number and we'll talk more and
Definitely.
We'll go fishing. And like I said, we're going to go hunting next year.
We at least have to go fuck around and shoot.
Well,
we at least got to go get the feel for it. If we're straight trash, maybe we shouldn't go out.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got to get a hunting license. We got to get a bow and,
there's a process.
Learn some stuff.
I've been out of the hunting game for a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
Well, right on, brother.
Anyway, Conner Hankins, thank you.
You the man, Brad.
All right. That's it for this week's episode of the Best Adventure Podcast. I'm Brian Sherwood, and thank you for joining me and my friend Conner this week. It was a good time. It was a good talk. I really enjoyed having him around. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation too. Until next time, live your best adventure. Thank you.